All right, well, hello everybody, and welcome to episode number 1 of Autism Parents No Filter. My name is Gabriel Castorena.
And I'm Veronica Castorena, and this young man right here is Nicholas Castorena. What's your name? And he is 7 years old, and he has autism. He was diagnosed by the age of 2, but I knew before he turned 1 that he was going to have autism, and the only reason I knew is...
Goodbye.
Oh, sorry.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. As you can see, this is Autism Parents No Filter. Our life literally has no filter every day. Sometimes he wants to be next to us, sometimes he don't, when he loses interest. But as I was saying, the only reason I knew he had stages or signs of autism is because I'm a child development major, and without it, I wouldn't have known anything was wrong, as my husband here was in denial. He didn't believe me.
And we'll get to that later.
He thought I was crazy.
Not really.
But this blog, I guess you can say, is just a way for us to vent, to talk about our experiences with Nick. We also have another child, a boy, who's 4. He is not on the spectrum. So we have to parent 2 different ways sometimes, which becomes very difficult. What works for Nick sometimes does not work for Alexander.
And the bad part about that, or it's not bad part, but the challenging part is that in regular households you have the older brother and you have the younger brother or younger sibling, older sibling, and that younger sibling always wants to do what the older sibling does. Unfortunately, that works to our disadvantage here because some of the behaviors that Nicholas exhibits is due because of his autism, and Alex tends to copy that.
Yes.
So that becomes another challenge for us, and another frustrating element or component of having an autistic child or raising an autistic child. It also becomes fun.
Yes, because at times, how does it become fun?
You have to figure out ways how to differentiate the two.
It's not fun. For those of you who are raising children on the spectrum, you know sometimes it becomes difficult. You go through so many emotional roller coasters. And if you're doing it by yourself, I give you guys kudos. I don't know if I could do it on my own. And for those of you who are, I applaud you because it takes an army, I guess you could say.
It takes more than just 2. It takes off actually your entire family. It takes the support of your entire family, and sometimes, as we kind of found out, that's not always available.
Yeah, so that's the main reason for our blog. The no filter part comes. Sometimes you're out there doing it on your own. You do it on day by day. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing. I know I don't know what I'm doing, even though half of you think that I am. For some reason, I mean, yes, I know all the child development facts, but really, autism doesn't come with instructions. We don't know. We go on a day-to-day basis what works, and what works for my kid might not work for your kid.
So let me start off by saying that we're not here to give advice.
No.
We're not here to tell you you're doing something wrong, and we're also not here to hear somebody tell us we're doing something wrong, because basically, as with any kind of parenting, whether you have a special needs child or not, there is really no right or wrong way to parent. It's really your style. Autism adds a different element to that, and so it doesn't. What we try may not work for you. What you've tried may not work for us. So there's some general things that do work, and then there's some other things that may not work, and that's just because of the different behavior components of our respective children. So, but again, no, this is really not an advice blog. It's more of a venting, and we welcome all of you to share your experiences and what you've gone through as we go through our experiences. So really, this is going to be kind of fun for everybody involved.
Yeah. So we'll go, we won't vlog all the time, but we'll do our Disneyland trips that we've done, how we handle meltdowns at the park, or when we have family parties and there's meltdowns, and why sometimes we choose to stay home. It's not because we're trying to avoid everybody. There's reasons behind that.
And also the type of car that you buy. Believe it or not, having a special needs child, having a child on the autism spectrum, the type of vehicle you buy is very crucial.
It was a changing factor for our family when we changed from a regular car to an actual minivan. And also what happens with the child who is not on the spectrum, how to make them feel special, when you're putting all your attention to the child that has, other needs that you need to meet. It's become an emotional struggle. I know it also tears into our marriage. It's not an easy factor. I know that when it first started with the diagnosis, I was more on jumping on the wagon. What do we need to do? What assessments? What starts? What do I need to do? And he was more of the denial, I guess you can say. He didn't. I mean, it's something hard.
I will be honest with you because her taking those classes, first of all, for her major, that was kind of her advantage. My disadvantage was I wasn't well informed. I knew a few people who had children on the autism spectrum. I contacted one of them, and they were telling me your child doesn't seem to fit the bill of an autistic child. But as we learn, every child is different, and that spectrum, that so-called spectrum, is huge. It's very huge. So, just because two children are autistic doesn't necessarily mean they share the same characteristics. And so I think that was kind of something for me to kind of find out, kind of late in the game, I guess you can say, because my child is autistic, but he doesn't share the same characteristics as some other children do. And again, as we go through these blogs, I think some of the parents will come out and say, what, my child didn't do this, but it does this. Or my child did do that, but I've never heard of my child doing this. So it's really, it's a learning experience. And for me, it was a big learning experience. Again, I didn't have the advantage of my wife who took the classes. If anything, she was teaching me a lot. And I was more so the parent that was saying my child is just one of the average boys that is developing late. And if you kind of take that mentality without really looking into it, you can go down a dangerous path. And so that's why you kind of have to learn and talk to other parents about that.
Yeah, as parents, we tend to sometimes want to say nothing's wrong with your child, and there's nothing wrong. They're just different. It's okay to be different. We're all different. We're not all branded the same. We all think differently. We all act differently. We have different personalities, and Nick is just different from everybody else. We love him the same. He is who he is. He brightens our day. I'm not going to say it's all sunshine and butterflies. It's no filter. Sometimes there's days where, oh my God, I want to lock myself in the bathroom, just like that Sex and the City episode where she locks herself in the pantry and starts to cry. It's not always fun, even though some of you say we're doing a great job. Sometimes it's like you just see the outside, you don't see the inner picture. So this is what the blog is. We're venting. This is going to help us. If it helps you, great. If we have 1 viewer, 2 viewers, or no viewers, it's great. If it helps you, great. If it doesn't, I hope you find something else that can help you. Just remember, you're not alone. There's many of us out there. We're not going anywhere. We are who we are. I don't know if you want to add anything else.
Well, really quickly, we haven't met any of you yet, so when we say you, we probably mean like our family members, our close friends. When you start to get to know us and you start to see what we've done, I guess you can have your own opinion. Hopefully it's positive. But again, this is not some place where we're offering advice. We're just really venting. And not venting in a bad way. We're just kind of expressing how we're feeling and how this is more than parenting. It's a huge challenge. And I think it's one of those things where, and this was our working title, but we didn't sign up for this. This is definitely something that kind of got as a bonus. And this is something that we're learning along the way on how to deal with it. And a lot of experiences are brand new to us. And we can look on the websites, all day long on how to deal with something. And sometimes that just doesn't work out.
And I think most parents are afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid. We're pretty open book on answering questions. If you see us, if you have a question, just ask it. It's better for you to ask than just like, oh my God, what are they doing? Or why are they doing that? Or why is he acting like that? Which I'm pretty sure you've all heard or gotten the stares. We got in so many stares of just, it's not helpful when people stare overall, but when they're staring at you and your child's having a meltdown, It's a little bit intimidating. It's like, oh my gosh, please stop
Well,
staring.
intimidating and frustrating. I think
Yes.
we'll dive into that into another
Yes.
vlog.
I think because we're trying to handle a meltdown, and you're just looking at me like if I'm doing something wrong.
And not only that, I think there's that other side of it where, and again, we'll dive into this more, but especially if we're at Disneyland and our oldest does throw a tantrum, and a lot of parents are probably looking at us thinking, oh, look at that spoiled brat not getting his way.
Yeah.
And for us, we're assuming we're saying that they're saying that, and obviously it's wrong to assume. But getting the looks that we get, one can only assume that because we don't have somebody saying you're doing a great job or do you need help, which is something that we have found on other blogs. If you do see a parent that has a child on special needs and they're having a meltdown, they do say, instead of staring, help them out a little bit, see if you can offer at least a little bit of assistance. But I mean, for us, we get the stares, and sometimes it's fun because you give them a dirty look back. Because that is my spoiled child, but you don't know what's going on.
He gives up. I'm trying not to. So those are our vlogs gonna be. So for this vlog, don't be afraid to ask questions. You're not alone. We all experience that, the unknown. If you're in the early stages and you suspect, it doesn't hurt to ask somebody. Look on, ask a friend, ask an educator, ask anybody that you feel comfortable with to talk to, so you can get help and spread, since it is Autism Awareness Month, make sure you spread some awareness. And just ask questions if you ever have a friend or you think you're a child or you suspect. Always just seek the help. Don't stay quiet, because the longer you wait, the earlier you detect it, the earlier you can help them with intervention.
I think the only advice I would give to piggyback off of that is to really talk to your pediatrician, because they're the ones that can actually refer you, and they're the ones that actually exactly. So you talk to your doctor if you do have a concern. It's never a silly question to ask your doctor about any concerns about your child from the get-go. It doesn't matter. That's your child. So ask your doctor if you see something a little bit off. Don't be afraid to ask. That doctor is not going to put a judgment on you. If anything, they're going to kind of praise you for starting off in the right direction and in that kind of awareness. I don't know if we would have gone that same route if she didn't take those classes or knew some of the signs. I mean, I think honestly she probably would have been more to ask the questions than I would. And I think between two parents, that might be a situation like that. You're going to have that one parent who's more concerned than the other.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing, but just be supportive of that.
Yeah, just remember, you're not, whatever choice you make, it's your child. You're not a bad parent. You're doing the best what you're supposed to do. You're doing the best that you can.
And asking questions does not hurt at all.
Just don't hesitate to ask.
That's why you're paying that copay for.
And there's also free programs. Just seek out help if you need it, or you need a suggestion, or need somebody to talk to. It doesn't hurt to talk to anybody. And that's it for our first vlog. We'll see you guys in a week or two, depending on how our
response is. So
response on how our schedule goes. It's hard to get on here. It's peace and quiet because it's tablet time. But we'll leave you with a little background of our family and our boys. Sometimes they'll be on here, sometimes they won't. It's really up to them. I'm not going to force them to be on camera. They kind of get camera shy. As you can see, Nicholas wanted to do it, then he's like, goodbye. He's semi-verbal. He wasn't talking at all, and now he has some words, so we're happy about that. But we'll leave you guys with a little bit of some of our family momentums. So, they're good times. But there'll also we'll have life beats of not so good times. It just depends on the day. So, hope to hear from you guys. Hope we have viewers.
Yeah, and
thanks for listening.
If you want, leave comments, topic suggestions, whatever you have any questions on. Again, we're not going to give advice. We're just going to kind of hear you out and talk about our experiences.
And just go through our experience and answer them that way. We don't want to be the ones to give bad advice. As I said, we're going on a day-by-day basis. We really don't know everything. It's just the way it goes.
All right, so catch you next time.
Where were you?
Oh, you want to say bye?
Where were you, Puppy Dog?
I don't know. That's his goodbye.
Where were you?